Yeah, right up here. Good. Hi, guys. I have a guest on The Naked Truth today. I actually have some house guests staying with me right now. So if you look behind me, you can see that there's a bed made up because this is my new room. And this is Bernie. Yes, my house guests actually have both a dog and a baby. I don't think Bernie's going to stay up here very long. Okay, I'm back now without the dog. As you can probably guess, today I'm talking about animals, but before we get into that, big thank you to our Naked Army vloggers from last week. That's Boom12, Kavada, Colin, Dominic, Hiram, Prescott and Kristen, Rebecca, Lawrence, Jenny, Richard, Cheryl, James, Lawrence, Hannah, and Allie. Thank you guys so much for making your Naked Truths on long distance relationships. A lot of insight there. And again, thank you to Trace, who was our guest on last week's episode. Our guest on this week's episode is only here for the beginning. Her name is Bernie, and she is the dog of my family members who are staying in town with me right now. And funny enough, they actually have a dog and a baby, and I chose to do the Naked Truth with the dog. Funny, I know. Well, it's because, let's see, Brooks Wilkins wrote in and said, it would be cool if you did a Naked Truth on animals. I've seen from SourceFed that you obviously don't like them, but I don't know where it ends and where it began. It would be awesome if you talked about it, and I'd like to know, do you want to like animals? In another world, could you see yourself being an animal lover? And I thought that was a really cute question, because I get a lot of times people are like, why do you hate animals? And I don't hate animals, and I know we've done the Naked Truth on hate before and kind of talking about that word, but I don't hate animals. I don't want harm to come to them. I don't think people should not have them. I just get uncomfortable when they're around me. So let's see. It wasn't always that way. When I was little, I really wanted pets, but I wasn't really allowed to have them. I had a few pets. I had fish. I had hermit crabs. I had sea monkeys. I had a cat that lived outside that was like a stray that we kind of adopted for a few months before we found a home for it. I had a box turtle, and I had a little anole lizard for a little while. His name was Frank. Oh, Frank. None of my pets ever lasted very long, and it wasn't because, like, I didn't take care of them and they died or anything like that. It was more because my family was never really a big pet family, and it would be like, oh, they were too dirty, so they'd run away. Mom, I'm looking at you on that one. But yeah, I liked the idea of having animals, but then, you know, when I had them, it was never quite the experience that I thought it was going to be, I guess. Yeah, I really do like the idea of having animals. Like when I play Dungeons and Dragons, I'll have characters that have familiars. And for those of you who don't play D&D, familiars are an animal companion that you are joined with and you can communicate with telepathically. And maybe if there was an animal I could communicate with telepathically, I would be more on board with that, because in doing a lot of thinking for this week's Naked Truth, I thought, you know, what is it that I don't like about animals? It's never like I was like, had a traumatic experience where I was bit by a dog as a kid or anything like that. And I do like some animals. Like, I don't mind going in the pet store. I kind of like going in the pet store and looking at them through glass like, oh, that's so strange. I still don't want them to touch me, but I mean, it's interesting to me. And I like going to the zoo. And like I said, I don't wish harm on any of them. I just don't want them in my personal space. And so I was thinking about why that is. And I really think that it's because I don't understand them, and they're super unpredictable to me, because I never lived with pets before, because I never really did any research into, you know, dog behavior or cat behavior and what it means. I'm constantly cautious and a little bit worried about what's going on. Like, people who understand dogs really well know that, you know, well, oh, if they're doing that, they're happy, or they're just trying to give you kisses. And for me, it's always like, ah, they're going to bite me. Or, you know, they're jumping up on me because they feel threatened, or they're trying to assert authority. And, you know, people that understand their animals are like, no, that's not what's happening, goofball. So my guess is that if I took the time to study animal behavior and really felt confident that I knew what that communication was, I would probably maybe even like animals. Do I ever think that I'll have an animal in the future? Nate really, 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 really wants a dog. In fact, he had stuff purchased already to get a dog when we started dating, and then didn't because of me. And I feel bad about that. And now that we're spending the rest of our lives together, I don't want to say, well, for the rest of your life, you can never have a dog, because that's mean, and that's unfair to him. And so I do think at some point in my future, I will probably end up having a dog that lives in my house. I would rather something cool, you know, like a monkey I know that doesn't make any sense because I can't predict their behavior even more so than a dog, I would say. But yeah, I think it's going to happen at some point, and I'll have to do like a check back in vlog at that point in time of like how I'm doing. I can tell you how I'm doing with Bernie in my house right now. Bernie, I have to say, is an exceptional dog, despite her weird ball thing. She's really very nice and pretty calm, and she kind of like snorts like a pig. It's very interesting to me. But out of most dogs I run into, Bernie's a really good dog. And so she's doing fine in my house. We kind of mind our own business and keep to our own space, and nod to each other from across the room, the what up nod. And it goes just fine. So anyway, that I hope answers that question. That's about as much as I could come up with as an answer for that. My question to you guys is, tell me about your animals, or if you're not an animal person, tell me about that too. You can do it in your own Naked Truth vlog response that you send to me using the for email or for business inquiries email link in the about section of the channel, or you can leave your answer in the comment section below for the rest of the Naked Army to read. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.